Okay, so right now, hi everyone. So I think last time might be most of the people have seen the demo in case if someone has missed that particular slides. So this is we have run through in our demo. So first of all, talking about who can learn this particular bit, then what exactly you will be learning it. Okay, then whatever the agenda we have for that day, what about your CPI architecture and walkthrough, and then we just talked about simple what exactly is a CPI and then most important features of your systems. Okay, so this is what we have discussed the last time, but right now I think we have to proceed further. So because this is the first class of this SAP cloud platform integration, so there are so many things which I really want to set it up for you guys. Okay, so that you can have that kind of holistic understanding how we are going to run through these courses, and what kind of in case if you need to have any prerequisite to start this. Okay, so I'll just do one thing just to start with. So today my vision will be very clear. I'll be talking about what are the different questions everyone has asked me. Okay, then apart from it, then we'll start with your introduction and your what are the different strategy we do have, like a business strategy of your cloud platform integration, and then what exactly is our business use case. Okay, so these two or three things we will try to cover it up. But before starting this particular part, so we do have a lot of questions. Everyone has a lot of questions here. Okay, and I really want to answer it, because in case if you don't answer it right now, might be it'll just create a confusion, or you will have that, okay Sam, when we have that kind of understanding. Okay, so I think the first question everyone asks me that what exactly is your difference between an application or and your application and your integration developer. Some people ask me what exactly is the difference between PI, PO versus CPI versus Bhumi versus there are so many tools we have in for integration market. Okay, so Bhumi also supports kind of a cloud integration. SuccessFactors has a very good integration with CPI and your Bhumi. So this also plays a critical. So this kind of two questions I have got. Apart from it, everyone wants to ask me about is there any prerequisite? Okay, any prerequisite to start this course? What kind of a language, what kind of programming language we use it? So right now, mostly we don't call it as a programming language, but we will be using your Groovy script. Okay, so this is very right now. I'll put it very straightforward. Your first two questions, starting questions, are still unanswered. Only we have just answered which script part we will cover for our integration course. So that would be our Groovy script. And apart from it, someone asked me, are there will be any kind of examples or use cases? So definitely this complete course, I might run through this particular your course content. You don't have to worry about it. Whatever we do have written here, we'll just try to show you up each and every step. Okay, so let me go back here. So right now, the third last question about everyone asked me. So right now, the people who are little bit of experienced here. Okay, so they asked me about I'll be sharing WSDL or XML documents, might be for a specific use case. Okay, so yes, I'll be definitely sharing a use cases for you, whatever the visual document, XML, whatever the adapter we are going to use, SOAP adapter or data adapter. So right now, all the adapter, I'll just show you example how we can just use that part. Okay. So these are the different questions. Might be holistically people have asked me up, might be some are very specific to CPI. So I don't want to jump into that very specific CPI question. First, I want to answer this part, and then again there are uh, things which I really need to discuss it up. Okay. So, but one more important thing before starting this particular course content. So there are so many people who are just starting first time for the integration part. Okay. As an integration developer, most of the time you have worked on left or right, never onto a bridge. Okay. So your integration as a bridge and you are first time. So right now you have to take a responsibility of both the sides. So the people who are learning the first time, So I really request you, whatever the questions you have asked, please ask. Don't feel that okay, I missed it out. In case if we just drop me a mail. But for other people who have might have little experience, so this is a kind of a course from scratch. So kindly be little patient. Might be, I know some people are exactly just jumped onto topics. Okay, right now show me success factor, right? Show me score adapter. Let me show how certification works and all these things. But just a request, this journey is long, close to 35 or 40 hours, and so I'll be humbling requesting you, please be little patient, because might be the people who are learning it for the first time, for them it should be little easy to understand, little easy to adapt onto this particular CPI part. Okay, because this is very very important for me as such. Okay, and timing wise, initially people asked me that 2 hours sometimes becomes a little complicated. So I have seen it in my other batches. It's very difficult to consume. So I always keep it gradually. So first 2 3 days I'll start 8 to 9, 9:15, then might be 9:15 to 9:30, and then after that I'll be stretching out from 8 to 10 sharp. Okay, so that's how the timeline I'll be going wise. Last part is about your questions. So definitely whenever we are jumping into this new topic, everyone would be having a lot of questions about system, documentation and everything. Okay. So you don't have to worry about that particular bit also. We will take care of it. And in case if you do have a question, you still think they are missed out, I'll keep it a session for the last 10 minutes so that whatever the questions you have it after going through the course content, okay, please let me know. Listen, I'm not like very stringent that no, I'll be sticking to this particular bit. In case if you have something very important, because the last time someone in message mapping asked me very specific use case of context. Okay, so right now might be they have some kind of a request coming it out, how to play around with it. So that was an example. I thought it's going to help everyone. So I'll make sure in case if you have something very good point that will add a value to the team or this particular group, I'll definitely take that into consideration. Okay, so that's just a few points which we have to remember while going through this journey. All whatever the use cases I'll be talking about morely an example. Whatever the business use case, whatever the technical use case, whatever the technical nitty gritty we have it, we'll just try to put it in a simple terms. Okay. So right now, let me just start with the questions part. So right now, first of all, what is the difference between your application or your integration developer? So right now, I think the most important thing is always about a mindset. Okay. So right now, whenever you are just working on to some kind of an application, for example, might be working with some kind of a CRM application, we are working with sales order opportunities. Okay. So your main job is to make sure how that particular instance of an opportunity or sales order gets saved into a system, or whatever the different actions we do have. It might be people should be able to add sales items or some kind of specific actions. So that particular objects is one kind of a specific functionality of CRM, which is your sales or opportunity. So that comes as a part of an application. So you specifically work on achieving your goals on application side. So that leads you more to the direction of an application developer. The next part is integration developer. So right now integration developer has right now I say this particular time has an amazing. Why? Because right now there are so many companies which are moving on to cloud solutions. So right now we know there are two sides of it, on-premise or a cloud. Okay, whatever the existing and whatever the new. So right now integration developer plays an important role to make sure the data can be communicated. So right now, definitely in this particular, as a developer, you would be having some kind of important thing as a mapping, some kind of important thing at a connection step, which are not there in your application side. So you have to be little have that kind of a mindset that I really need to adjust it, because trust me, guys, this particular course, might be in demo, I have not said much. This is one of the most strategic course I see personally, SAP CPI, because SAP is acquiring the companies left and right, and they right now I have talked to people, so they have strategies till 2022 that they need to just integrate it. Think, so there are so many companies we do have it right now. Let's take the example of your Calidus, CPQ, Qualitrix, Ariba, SuccessFactor, currently core system for FSM. So right now there are so many companies, bundle of companies as SAP acquired. So they have to make an integration with their core components. So integration will play an important role. And one more important thing is your pre-packaged content. Okay, so right now let's talk about this particular part only. Integration developer will try to connect two different systems, might be who speaks different language in terms of like how they expose data or in what data format they talk. Might be it can be OData or so. So they just make sure that both can communicate. So that's the job of an integration developer. Okay, so that was your difference between an application or your integration developer. So coming to the next point, so differentiate between PI, PO versus CPI versus Bhumi. So first of all, one common thing about all is they are all middlewares. Okay, PI, PO was your on-premise. Okay, CPI is mostly your cloud. Bhumi has also cloud. So right now these are all our middleware which helps to connect different your systems. Okay. So in case if someone has not worked with your PIPO, so that's pretty much okay, because whatever the minimum prerequisite we have, it will just try to make sure it's covered in terms of your format wise or in terms of technology wise. But in case if you're working first time with the CPI, it will be easy. Okay. So right now all these are good, and it all depends on your what kind of a business use case you have it. Okay, so might be somewhere PIPO will definitely win because this was started in 2002 with the name of Exile. Okay, so now is again there are so many things come into it, dual stacks, that single Java stack we do have it currently. Then we do have a CPI, so which is your cloud platform integration. So CPI again depends what kind of a pre-packaged content we have, because in case if this is available, definitely you will take a leverage compared to Bhumi. So all are different integration, your middlewares. It all depends on your business use case. CPI wins because of strategic core understanding of their own applications. So that's why it has a leverage. But right now, as such, functionality wise, I have seen Bhumi. Bhumi is also a very good tool in market. Okay. So, and when we just have to talk about more, because definitely we'll be talking more about your PI, PO and CPI, because last time also people asked me what exactly is the difference. So this time I'll make sure that everyone has a good understanding between these two part. Okay, mostly PIPO, I'll just tell you the concept wise. Might be I can just show you, if possible, I can just show you the system, how there was a defined set of steps you need to do it when you are working with PIPO compared to CPI. CPI is one kind of very open source framework based on Java Apache Camel framework. So it's quite easy to work with. Okay, so right now this is kind of holistically I can talk about these three different middlewares. Okay, so one more again after that, one more important point. So there are different names we do have in market for your CPI. Okay, your SAP CPI, SAP SCI, SCP. So there are different names for this. So please be very careful that all are similar name. So this is your cloud platform integration. This is your HANA cloud integration. This is SAP cloud platform integration. And there is one more name, we used to call it HackEye. Okay, this is HANA cloud integration. HANA cloud platform integration. So these were the different names, because as such HANA onto cloud has evolved by different names in market. So it's pretty much important that that you should know which is exactly or different names we do have available. So right now this is the only name which we are going to use it, your CPI, cloud platform integration, across this course. And so this will be the name. Okay, so might be the next so right now in this introduction part, so it's no secret anymore, the world is going digital. Okay, so right now there is a convergence of trends such as your cloud computing, social networks, mobility, the Internet of Things, and the resulting of big data is changing how we conduct a business. We are increasingly experiencing the change in our personal lives, but these trends are quickly moving into the enterprise world also. So, for example, while in on-premise environments, that's not going anywhere soon, because right now, whatever the uh, cost we have given into our on-premise, that will definitely will stay. But definitely we see a shift to increasing cloud adoption, which is your subscription-based licensing and central hosting are simply how people want to receive our software these days. Okay. So right now, SAP, as we all know, so might be we are long into this particular industry. So this is the largest provider of business software and has definitely recognized this particular technological shift, and it's continuously expanding its offering of cloud software. However, SAP has a lot of invested is on premise. Okay, and this year to come, it's not quickly as such they can move it, but right now they are making sure with the help of this particular tool, or you can say a platform, because this is more kind of a platform as a service. Okay, so they are really trying to bring their cloud and on-premise technologies together. Okay, so right now definitely we know how much SAP customers right now have like invested heavily into their on-premise. So it's not that easy to take it out of it. Okay, so now let me just take an example of it. So right, how I can say that, and how there is kind of a convergence of technologies and different solutions are talking. Okay. Okay, so now every time whenever I start this particular topic of cloud platform integration, so there are two examples which I generally take it. First one is your Amazon. So right now Amazon, why? Because I everyone has used it. It's very consumer centric company, and most of people has touched it. In case if you don't know integration, you just try to link it with this generic example, and after that I'll give you very specific example of SAP. Okay. So first one is, so right now anytime if you go to your Amazon.in, so might be you look for whatever the item you want to add to a cart. Any items might be in case you want to buy an iPhone. You select your quantity, you select add to cart, and then you might just try to put, or you might place an order. So right now what happens is there are different systems which communicate. So might be it first check that it can deliver it, or first of all might be this product is available or not. So there are different systems which communicate. Okay, and to make sure all these systems are synchronous or in same rhythm, we need integration, and we need a very close tight integration between different systems. So that is one of the reasons we need integration. So now I'll just talk about my next example, which I really loved talking about. So right now think of a case, this is one external system, which is your, let's say, HubSpot. Okay, so right now this is my this might be your next system, which is your SAP C4 HANA for sales. Okay, then might be this is your new system, so right now which SAP has just recently acquired, which is your Calidus. Okay, which is for your, and then last part is your S4, which is a bread and butter for SAP on-premise ERP. Okay, so right now think of a case that a company is really want to execute their sales process. Okay, and they really want to capture the lead. So right now think of a case they have acquired, might be they're using HubSpot, which is mostly for their lead capturing or lead generation system, and for their sales enablement, so their sales process. So this is one of the applications currently we have in CRM, which is your SAP C4 HANA Sales Cloud. Okay, then they have one more system for to giving a right quote, okay, or what you can say customized quote for that particular product. And then your S4 part, where exactly is your sales order, then your billing, and then your delivery process happens. So think of a case, in case if company has to achieve this particular kind of a complex scenario, where they want to make sure they have good leads captured. Might be right now they can have an effective marketing tool. So might be they think HubSpot will fit this picture correctly. So they will use HubSpot. Second, what will happen is they know that C4HANA is a kind of a your cloud application which is easily accessible through mobile, tightly integrated in terms of your on-premise with your different systems. So what will happen is they will just take this complete scenario where first a lead will get generated in your HubSpot system. It will go to your sales application. Just don't confuse with C4HANA or something. I was just trying to give you the name which is more relatable or linkable. So in this particular sales, so this lead will get replicated, or we have to make sure that we have to expose this inbound API for that particular lead. So lead will get captured here. Then from lead to opportunity to sales quote, and whenever we have to make a good sales quote, which is price effective, competitive, and everything, we do have a calendar system. So once your quote get generated from this calendar system, we can create a sales order in your S4 systems. So once your sales order happens here, so let me just add it so that you will be able to remember this particular part. So once it will come to your S4 system, might be your sales order, then second is your billing and your delivery process. So right now, this is one of the very common examples where you have to understand the criticality of integration. So why this is important? Because in case if company has to achieve the overall picture, they really want to have the system in place, and they should be talking to each other. Okay, and right now, as the concept of point solutions are coming, so right now I think the time has gone. So people would be using one complete bundle for your sales, service, opportunity, visit, route, ticket, everything. So right now, trust me, the time has gone. So they are looking for the concept of point solution, where they have single small solutions, all are connected with each other with the help of an integration part. Okay. And this will be coming need of all the companies. Okay. So we can think integration as important because you will be able to monitor the data, because as a part of an application consulting, or your in case if you are trying to manage that particular part or this particular scenario, for you it will be very critical that this data should flow correctly to achieve the company's goal. Okay, now I hope this particular part is clear to you guys. Okay, in case if sometime you have a question, might be you can put into a chat box. Okay, so I think that would be helpful in case if you have any questions. So definitely I'll just answer it up. So I hope this part is clear. So examples like this business use case, I can give you n number of business use cases, because as an integration, this is quite critical for you, okay, to learn all these things. So right now, again, I can just tell you one more example where we do have a social media. So right now, I think I have seen a recently use case where a company, so I'll just tell you one more business use case. So what happens is, sorry. So right now might be you can say this is again so right now think of a case when you are some kind of a consumer company. Suppose you are might be you make some kind of electronics. Let's say example of your Sony. I really like the LEDs. So right now, suppose Sony has also have the service tickets or service application in place. So this time I'll take an example of your Instagram or Twitter, anything. Okay. So right now this is one thing. So right now might be your next part is you are might have integrated with some kind of service application or service cloud. Okay, then might be you have some kind of a different system which is for your FSM. So right now, think of a case if you have sold some kind of a TVs and you do have an Instagram page where you are talking about your new products, and in case if someone has issue, they can just raise some kind of a concern by tagging their whatever the handle name they do have it. So right now we do have seen this kind of integration where you can just tag and based on your details, relevant details, a service ticket will get initiated from your Instagram or your Twitter account. So yes, this is the particular case definitely exists. Okay, and once service tickets created into your service cloud, and might be they can have integration with one more system, which is your FSM, which is for your field service management. Okay, so you can easily, what you can do is you will be able to you really need to have this integration between this different system, so that if there is a kind of an tickets or an issue which triggers from Instagram, it gets created as a service ticket in your service cloud application, and then from there you need to have the integration with your FSM, which is your field service management, which is to assign your field service executive based on Google Maps. And there are different criteria of this particular system. This system is amazingly good, this FSM system. I have seen this kind as a system. So this will be your second business use case. So I hope you try to right now understand that what is exactly is the importance of critical what is the importance of CPI as an integration middleware in this particular business application. Because right now the trend has been changed drastically, how people communicate and how people do a business. The time has really gone. So this as a business use case, why it's quite critical that people should know the CPI, so that they can first of all integrate, they can monitor the content, and they will be able to have more knowledge how what are the different things we can do inside your CPI part. Okay, so this was your in terms of business use case. So we do have a lot, but right now again I have to talk about one more important thing. Okay, so right now I think this strategy I really have to talk about, because there are different things we have in your SAP cloud platform integration. Okay, so as SAP moves to the cloud, hybrid deployments are going to play an increasingly major role in businesses. Most customers who run business today must, without a doubt, maintain existing IT landscape. We know everyone. Okay, so it's simply unreasonable to assume that cloud deployment will completely replace current environments. So consequently, successful companies look for solutions that will help them to combine the current environment, which are typically on-premise, with cloud-based application, which where it makes sense. Hybrid deployment will be the solution of choice for most companies in the year to come, and this is where the market is heading, and this is where the SAPs see investment in IT while moving to the cloud part. So, however, this hybrid landscape automatically mean integration needs between your on-premise cloud application, and they need to exchange the data with each other. So this is exactly why they think the platform like SAP Cloud Platform Integration will fill the gap. Okay, and it is responsible for reliable message exchange between different systems, as we have talked in these two business use cases. Okay, and however, before just going more into this tool as a CPI tool, how exactly it works, what kind of content it has. So right now it's very important to understand the strategic value of this particular cloud application tool. Okay, so this is quite important. So there are different parts we do have in your cloud based strategy. Okay, so there are fundamentally there are four important things which I really want to talk about. So first one is your faster deployment. Second, your access to Access to innovation. So this is quite important. So the next part is your agile deployment, your sorry, configuration and integration. And the last but the most important thing which I actually see, because company don't work on these things, but I think the total cost of ownership is one of the most important thing. Okay. So right now, fundamentally, if you just talk about strategy, or as we discuss about different points that why CPI fills the gap which SAP sees in coming future. So right now, these are the key business benefits of, let's say, for this particular having this strategy in place or having this CPI in place. Okay. So what are the benefits we do see in terms of cloud platform integration? So first is your faster deployment. So first I'll just talk about this particular single point, then might be I can just go deep and talk about it. Second is your access to innovation. These points are important, that why customers should prefer this kind of cloud platform integration solutions. Then is your agile deployment, configuration and integration. I hope everyone understands the meaning of agile, like how nimble or quick you should be while implementing a solution. And your last important point is your lower TCO and faster time to value. So right now, I think the first and foremost, it's all about faster deployment. By deploying, we mean first the setup and customizing of the software that makes it ready for productive usage. So deployment as such in the old days used to take months, even year. With this particular cloud solutions, or how the approach we do have it currently, the deployment time is reduced drastically, sometime to weeks or days. The trend is accompanied by mobile user experience. The cloud is consumer grade and it's beautiful, and the most important thing is it's flexible. So today's user expect to use software instantly, and it's fine, easy to adapt without yesterday long lasting training session and expensive parts. Okay, so previously what used to happen is whenever we used to release some kind of SD solution or some bigger SAP ERP chunks, so it takes a very heavy amount of time to customize it, and it's not used to be that flexible. Definitely in terms of functionality wise, you can uh, do a lot of configuration, everything, but still it used to take a lot of time. But with the help of the CPI, so this is kind of a one single stop place where you can just easily do a lot of things. So right now, in case if I have to open the system, I can just show you up. So previously, what used to happen is, so might be I can just take it tomorrow. That's fine. So right now, previously, what used to happen is, in case they have a different applications and they were not even bundled together. Okay, but currently, what exactly is happening up? They have bundled everything together. So in case if someone has worked with PI or PO, so what used to happen is, their ESR is different, the user is different, there's some kind of certificates that's different. So they were little fragmented. Okay, I know the functionality wise, it's a very big chunk of functionality. They can do it quickly with the help of PIPO, but their components used to be fragmented. We need to have a lot of setup between these components. But in case of your CPI, it's very quick, and with the help of a prepackaged content, you can just easily deploy it. It will not take even more than a quarter. Okay, I have seen applications going live if they have some kind of a simple use cases. Your very simple use case of might be some kind of a business or a master data application, and then executing a sales order. It will not take more than 2 months, because they're quite customizable, and it's having you can easily deploy it. Okay, so this was about your faster deployment. Okay, and guys, one important thing, in case if there are any questions you do have it, please feel to put into a chat box. I'll be monitoring it up. Okay, so I think the next important topic we do have is your access to innovation. So this is the second important, let's say, pillar for this complete CPI part. Because we are moving away from your upgrade cycles that once took a years to at least quarterly upgrade cycles with most of today's software as a service offering. So in many solutions, the innovation cycle may have reduced to monthly update. So this result in the delivery of quarterly or innovations to all the user of a solution at the same time, and allows the software to always remain up to date. Consequently, all users are consistently working with the latest version of software. I hope this is quite a straightforward point, because previously we used to have an enhancement packages in year, might people lose that particular context. But currently we do have a different, we can release a functionality within a month, 2 months, or 3 months. So CPI, I think mostly your upgrade comes in 2 months as such, without affecting your tenants. Maybe they have some kind of a downtime on Saturday and Sunday, but might be it's very much minimizing your business risk. So this is quite flexible, and the good part is, in case if you have worked with these tools like this, so for you it will be little easy to work. Let me. So right now I was just talking about 2 points. I hope it's good to show you system in case if people have not seen as such. So right now you see most of your options, discover, design, monitor, everything is in one place. So which is quite helpful in terms of packaging of that particular tool of your CPI. Okay. Innovation wise, I'm not sure how many people have you worked with this particular part. So initially when initially I've started this, I think close to the 2013 or 14. So right now they have a different kind of this first design discover tab. So you'll not be able to as such filter it. There are very few things you'll be able to do it. But right now, seeing going into system or things, there are different right now support we do have available. So might be I can just show you one example. So right now, just to talk about one normal small example is so right now let me just click onto this particular bit. So you don't have to worry about where exactly I'm going it. I'll be showing you what are the different changes we do have it here. So right now, in case if you think this is from as a system perspective, because right now your integration flow can become a huge chunk. So right now, previously we don't have this much of that functionality that we can define your resources. So there are different way to define the resources. So every time you have to squeeze your screen and work. So right now might be I'll show you it might be success factor or business partner application where we do have a huge replication, or might be your success factor with third party NG, how exactly your content look like. Previously we don't have a lot of flexible functionalities like this one, your full screen maximize part. So right now you can easily define your general configuration resources. So previously what used to be happens is you have to just have to toggle, or you just have to just hold this particular line and you just have to drag it. And this is the maximum space you used to be utilize it. Sometimes it's get tricky when you are working with heavy configurations. So right now they are just trying to improve this particular CPI persona user experience plus the functionality. Every time we do have a new functionalities, because right now how message monitoring even happens. In case if you see 3 years back, trust me, you would have cried. Who will work with this particular software? In case if you have worked with your PIPO, where we do have your SXMB underscore money SRT util very easily and transaction to use it, complete payload you can see. But right now in today, if I show you how to monitor the particular content or how to see the payload, you will say, wow, this is a beauty. And you will not believe this is an SAP applications. So there has been a lot of innovation, and this will be happening in the coming days. So I think it's quite a simple part. Okay, so right now this is one important point about your access to innovation. Access to innovation. So right now this was more about your sorry, this was more about your innovation part. So I think the next part is more important about agile development. So right now, because there are different ways, because we don't have our lengthy upgrade cycles, as I mentioned in innovation. Same will come fall into this part also, because we do have very shorter upgrade cycles, might be within a month or 2 months. So right now, whatever the features you are planning, might be customer want to plan it based on their request. In case if SAP releases, for you it becomes quite flexible. Okay. And the next important point in your agile deployment is your package content. So right now, whenever in case if someone asks you package content, if till this time you don't know package content, just understand that SAP has a best understanding of the system. So might be it's a cloud or they're on-premise. And someone asks you how you can replicate a BP. So SAP say very easily that we have created a pre-packaged content for our master data BP or for your product. You can just easily define a connection and replicate it. Apart from in case we have some kind of a logic, then definitely integration developer plays into a place. But your package content is the predefined delivered content given by SAP, which you can use in your landscape as a plug and play solution. Okay, so again, this becomes very important. Your part of this benefits of this clouds, the pre-packaged content. It trust me, it takes very huge value. Okay, so right now, I think finally we have a lot of questions about the cost and everything. So right now we do have a lower total cost of ownership and faster time to value of a cloud solution. So this is the result of advantages pointed out before. Customer don't have to spend money on hardware, software hosted in their own data centers anymore. So they can now outsource this task to the solution provider. Customers optimize their total cost of ownership due to lower initial solution and deployment fees. And because they no longer need to shoulder maintenance and upgrade cost. So if you think your total cost of ownership typically in cloud solution, this is very well in this particular regard. Okay, your TCO part. Okay, and the advantages are obvious. The benefits of cloud deployed free up time, your money, your energy that can be spent on whatever the customer or whatever the new innovations or engagement your company has to spend it. Because as such, there are a lot of pre-packaged content, then your deployment part and how easily a new features will come up. So this makes this particular tool more preferable in the market. Okay, but the most important SAP leverages is their on-premise and their customer base, because right now they have already more than 2 lakh customers which are on-premise, and they know that they are going to stop the support for their on-premise, so they have to go for a cloud solutions. Okay, so this is one very important bit. We do have it here. Okay, so till this time, anyone has any questions? So let me see. Okay, so right now I think I just got one question which is specific to the part we are discussing. So someone asked me how we can just do innovation using a CPI. Can you explain that part again? So right now just think of a case that because I really want people more understand it or enjoy this particular part. So right now think of a case. So I have just talked about this particular business use case where we do have an HubSpot integration with the C4 HANA sales, which is again linked with your CPQ and your delivery, sales order and everything process all together. So right now when we say how we can innovate, okay, so there are different things we do have it in terms of your cloud platform integration, as this is one of the services we do have in cloud platform. So what you can do is might be, so right now customer will not have every time your vanilla case. Okay, they will not never have your vanilla flow. So might be suppose I'll just give an example. So right now, suppose this C4HANA sales is integrated with your S4. So this is standard prepackaged content, but your might customer needs some kind of a ledger report, or might they need some kind of a billing report, okay, or might be they need some kind of your sales register report. So there are different objects they can expect. And right now, don't assume this is S4HANA. Might be this is some kind of a third party, and you have a CPI. So your SOAP system talks mostly in your C4 system talks mostly in your SOAP, but might be this system talks in some other for data format. Let's say OData format. So how you can just make sure that both can communicate and how you can deliver it. And there can be one of more use case comes might be where you need to have a data check. So right now, let's say, so I hope my last example is clear. So might be a next example is suppose in case if C4 HANA has to create a sales order, but first they need to make sure whatever the code comes, might be it get internally approved in CPQ, or it should come here, it should get approved, or it should get replicated into your S1. So might be you need some kind of business use case innovation where you can just make sure with the help of your integration, this all three systems can communicate. Definitely, that's a one thing. Uh, can communicate, and might be some kind of a flow can be done it customizable. So with the help of CPI, there are different kind of functionalities you have available. So right now, whenever we talk about when we are going to talk about the features of CPI, we have a lot of things which we can show you that we can play around and we can achieve the results. Okay, so we do have a lot of things. Okay, cool. I hope this particular part answers your question. I hope when you say CPI, you're talking about cloud platform integration. Okay. Okay, so I think the last part we have covered. So right now we have understand the advantages that clouds bring to the table. So the need for integration platform weaving together the loose ends between various combination of cloud and on-premise solutions become even more obvious. So SAP CPI is again one kind of a cloud-based solution, okay, or CPI is some kind of your you can say a service which runs on your SAP cloud platform. Okay, so might well just talk about that particular bit more, that where exactly is the CPI in terms of once we go into a tool. So right now I have shown you this particular screen, but first we'll show you how exactly a cloud platform is, how first of all how you can start with it, what exactly is the cloud platform, how you can opt for this particular services, and what else we have on cloud platform. Okay, and then might be we can dive more into all these different things. Okay, so right now this is one. So right now I think the business use case wise, I hope people are clear. Okay, and might be innovation or what new features we have it once we go through it step by step, because might be what I'll be able to make it out more, because I've seen different kind of a use case how people custom your custom integration can achieve with the help of a CPI. So there are different use cases we do have it. Okay, so right now might be going next. I'll ask you one question. So and might be I'll uh, might be then I can leave it to you guys to ask the question, whatever the questions you have in terms of your about this course. But after this we'll go for course content, and then we will ask in case if you do have any questions. Okay, so just a food for thought. So right now I have asked you one very simple thing. So right now just think that we do have a different SAP systems right now. Don't think a different system. Now let's think all our SAP systems. Might be your this is your, let's say, SAP HCM. This is your SAP CRM, and this is your SAP ERP. Okay, so now let me connect all the systems. So right now I'm not going to talk about what exactly SAM do, how it gets integrated into ERP, what kind of objects, floats, or how they all these three talks. Right now, one simple question is, so I'm talking about we need middleware, we have these problems. So one question for all of you, because I really want you to have that. First of all, what was your thinking? And when might be I'll explain you tomorrow, then what exactly is the difference? Okay. So one question is why we cannot have a point-to-point integration. Okay, so right now these are the different systems. So we know in SAP we have a concept of remote function calls. So right now, because all our SAP systems, I'm talking about on-premise, that's why I'm not putting new systems. So right now, I hope people have experience. In case if not, just think of an Amazon case that if I'm talking about delivery order, so why we cannot have a direct communication? Leave about this particular word point to point, leave it, not a problem. Okay. So why we cannot have a direct communication between these different systems? Why we need first of all middleware? Like why we need middleware? I say that no, it's not required. Just do directly calls. And trust me, this is possible. This is possible, and I'm 100% sure because I've done it myself. And this is very easy even. In case if you have to call from cloud solution to any RFC, you can do it. That's not a rocket science. But one question for you guys is why do we need integration in this particular place? Okay, just have your give your thinking, and might be I'll ask you tomorrow so that you can just let me know why what are the reasons you think it should, and what are the reasons you think no, we need some kind of a middleware in between to connect different kind of things. Okay, so this is one question because from tomorrow onwards we do have different scenarios, your point to point, your message based, cloud to cloud to on premise, then hybrid usage. Okay, because definitely time is not far that we will have a hybrid scenarios in landscapes. Right now I see. So, but in coming years, I think 22, 23, there will be a chance that we do have so much things in place. Okay. So this is, I think as such, topic wise, I think I'm done for the day. Okay. So might be my next plan is to go through the course content. Okay. And after that, the point, in case if you have any questions, any doubt regarding the course, or in case if it's missed out, or you want me to answer it anything, just ask it. And from next day onwards, whatever the questions we have, we can take it in starting or in the end. Okay, when we are going through session, in case if it's very specific to a topic, you can ask. But out of topic context, please don't go while in between. Maybe in a starting or an end will be the best time. Okay, so right now I hope people who are going through this particular course have gone through this particular course content. In case not, so right now first of all we do have different topics, like suppose integration to your SAP HANA cloud integration. Name should be to where your CPI, so this was not updated, might be updated. So first of all, we are going to talk about integration capabilities, our architecture, technical system, network infrastructure, SAP data centers, and secure communication. So I think currently we do have 33 data centers. So, but all the topics will communicate how exactly we see our servers, what are the different URLs based on how the URLs are generated. Because in case if you see this particular URL, it has TMN, your HCI, AP, everything has a meaning. Nothing is free in this. Nothing has like simply they have given it. So this is your tenant management node. This is your Asia Pacific regions. Everything has a logic behind. Okay. So we'll talk about everything. Then coming to the next part, which is our integration scenario, where there we have integration content catalog. You're consuming pre-packaged content, configuring integration packages, and then your next is pre-packaged content, packaged content by SAP, and there is one more part by your other vendors, how we can check them out, what are the documents, artifacts inside it, creating your own content package, because in case if you have to create your own content package, how we can start with that part, how we can add a standard artifact in your own content package, your tools, your web UI tools, Eclipse, SAP Cloud Platform Connector. So web UI is very, I think people know about it. So this is the one. But in this particular case, what happens is your sorry, in your cloud tools, we do have different options. Again, we do have Eclipse platform, but as such, Eclipse SAP has stopped giving support. So right now, I think because they might be want to have monopoly, because previously we used to use Eclipse and we'll be able to create some kind of wonderful integration flows. But right now, as such, mostly they have started on UI. So Eclipse platform, I'll show you. So there are tools.haraondemand.com. We have how from there how we can start, but might be I can just show it later, because they have stopped support only in your web UI. So this is the only front runner for your integration part. The next part is design. So what exactly is the camel message model? We do have it. Content enrichment, your data transformations and mappings. Then understanding your integration services, HCP integration service architecture and connectivity, content-based routing, working with list, asynchronous message handling. So like working with list, I hope people understand. So right now these are very important topic. Then your converter, your how exactly we can work with MIME type, time-based message transfer, structuring of large integration flows, your working message persistence, working with value mappings, then coming into your scripting and your exception handling. So we do have SAP Cloud adapters, SOAP adapters, Facebook OData. So right now, as such, adapter wise, we do have a lot of adapters. But right now, we'll just try to cover it. Your SOAP, OData might be Facebook, and then last might be instead of Facebook, might be I'll just cover SuccessFactor, because I have got maximum requests this time for SuccessFactor. Okay, so might be I can just take that particular part. Then going next, SAP Cloud Integration Operations. So we do have a lot of operations, your monitoring, your message content, security material, certificate, then adapters, how to develop custom adapters. So right now there is no way to develop your custom adapter in your web UI. So there is a different place in case if you want to create your own adapter. So that is also SAP supports. Security point is very important. As such, your TLS, your MLS part, data production, certificate based public private key concept in integration is very critical. Basic cryptography. So basic cryptography, I'll just be able to give you the concept wise. There are a few things, guys, very candid about here. There are few concepts which I can just tell you on your system only. I'll not be able to show you the live some kind of a session, because suppose in case of your certification part, so right now I cannot show you how to get your certificate signed, but I can just definitely tell you how you can easily get your certificates. Okay, and how you can play around with that, or in case if you are communicating with some other system, how you can, from where you can fetch it, and what exactly is the concept of your public, private, and all these different keys. Okay, then your next part is your authentication, OAuth. OAuth, I think mostly we use OAuth in case if someone don't know the concept. So it's kind of a giving access to someone else based on your that they can access that particular resource, but with some kind of authorizations. So OAuth concept is very important to use in your social media, social network connection. Okay, so right now this OAuth is mostly used in that particular use case. User administration authorization, then your transport management, payload and tracing function. So this part of your message monitoring. Then your iFlows wise calls, event security, validator flows, use case management. Then we have prepackaged content and how to manage it. Okay, so right now in case if it's editable, how to use it, in case of if you have to make changes or whatever the standard prepackaged content, how we can do that. So there is again a lot of things we do have it. It's not whatever the standard SAP has given it, we'll try to leverage it. Every time we just try to enhance it up. Okay, so right now these are the topic which we will be covering during this particular course. So I think there are ample number of topics we do have it here to cover. I hope people will put genuine their interest, and they just try to practice it up. Okay, because that's very critical, important thing. So I think this is pretty much from my side for today. Okay, because I have planned for today till 1 hour 15 minutes to make sure we have specific timings or use the right amount of time. So guys, do you have any questions now regarding this particular course or whatever the holistic concerns you have? You can put it right now. Okay, so right now I think I've got one question, which is how much Java knowledge is required to get hold on CPA. So right now I think people, okay. So as such, we do have two types of scripting which we can write to manipulate your business use case. One is your Groovy script and a JavaScript. And I hope Java and JavaScripts are both are different. Okay, so it does not depend on like what kind of a Java knowledge Java knowledge you have it. I think it's more about your integration mindset, how you can connect the different systems. And trust me, when I'm making my next statement, I'm really sure 85% of your implementation don't require a Groovy script. One or two Groovy scripts are required, which I'll give you myself only. I'll talk about Groovy script basics, how exactly you can just start with the Groovy script. But 85% in case if you know how to map it smartly, anything, your iDoc, your web servers, anything, you'll be able to achieve your goal. But in terms of specific to your question, in case you are talking about a Java, in case if you're saying Java, I am assuming it's a JavaScript. In case if it's a JavaScript, I think definitely it'll just help you up writing your logic specific to your business use case, which you cannot achieve through mapping. So that's one thing. So I hope this is answered. Apart, any other questions? So any other questions, people, you can just ask. I think one question I see, what do you mean by like it's not one-to-one mapping? There's one question I see. Okay, and one more important thing. So right now, whenever we show the final scenario, we have planned right now as such as C4HANA sales or C4HANA systems with on-premise S4. So right now, whenever we show you the complete integration. Okay, people, can you hear me? I think my connection was lost. In case if you can just hear me, just
Yes, sir. Yep.
cool. Thank you. Yeah, you can go on mute. Okay, I think can we get a CPA server to practice? So I really have talked about this part. Yes, we'll get you a free trial access. You don't have to pay it. Okay. Yes, definitely theory won't help you. My this complete scenario, whenever we get into a system, every single scenario, splitter, your router, your script, everything with your SOAP query, your SOAP call, your OData query, your OData concepts, everything will be in practical, nothing will be in a theory concept for sure. Okay. And so one more important point I was mentioning it out that most of people ask me that I think in last batch people or actually have put a lot of efforts. I have seen it because they have given some kind of certifications. So sometimes people don't know how to play around here on your might be S4 system in case if we have to make some kind of a integration. So might be in case if we do have an iDocs or in case if we have web services. So there is a concept of your SOA manager and then your in case if you have to configure your iDocs message types or in case if we have some kind of a distribution channel. So whatever I can add like add from my side that particular specific topics. So definitely you don't have to say me for that particular part. I'll be able to put it from myself only that you definitely need to learn this particular topics. Okay. Okay. So I hope, okay, I have, see one question. So right now, can we send email notification to distribution list from CPI whenever error is occurred during exchange between systems? So there is a one only way we can do that, but for that we need some kind of an add-on where it will just send some kind of a report. So there is one customized way as such, but in CPI tool as such we don't have it. I have seen this kind of a request in your different middleware, other middlewares, where in case some kind of a queues fail, so there's some kind of a notification in system goes it. So there is a one way only we have it, but that's very customized way. As such, there is no standard. Uh, uh, there is no as such standard way where we can trigger this. And one more important point here is that in case if you want to make a connection with the PI for your ESR content, so we do have it. That we do have it in that in place. Okay, might be once we are running the course, so we do have it in case if you have some kind of a this kind of a use case, but it all depends on what versions it is. And because definitely when you create content in your PI, so there are different kind of a logic, so everything is not supported, so it all depends. Okay. So right now cloud guys, one more important things I know, this is right now I think definitely CPI is still better compared to last when you see from 2015. So I hope in coming years this will mature, and this is a way forward if you talk in terms of SAP. And this is the one tool for sure short will work out, because might be your application people can go for different, because on-premise will be SAP and people will opt for this kind of solutions so that they can leverage your on-premise part. Okay. So I hope SAP SS domain wise should do good. As we see in S4 HANA, they have a lot of negative feedbacks in market. But I hope in coming days, how many acquisitions they have done it, they will do pretty good. Okay. So I think going back to my last point, so I hope you go through this particular question in your mind. Okay, that why we cannot have point to point integration. Please have your point. I really appreciate it. Whatever you can just contribute in terms of your understanding, might be it can help others to give a perspective, and might be whatever the points I do have it, I can also add it here. Okay, because treat me myself as also a learner, because I also don't know like 100%. Might have learned like 15 to 20%, but I know pretty decent. Okay, so please have some kind of a questions, because in case if you started thinking in that direction, I really want that gap of integration part. In case if you don't have it, might be it will just fill it. And whatever the documents, might be I can just talk about documents, your how what kind of documents we do already have it, we can share it with you. And document format, documentation, I might be just share you later on. First just have basic understanding, go into a tool basic, then we'll just talk about documentations. Okay. So guys, I'll just do one thing. So I'll close the session. So thank you so much for joining. Anytime in case if you have any questions, please feel free to drop me email, and that is samforthisiswender@gmail.com. And in case if you have very specific to anything, just let me know. Okay. So I'll just close down the session. Let's connect the same time tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much.